A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nata Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Srinama Charna Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Pray F.C. Kalo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Govinda Shana Kunda Radha Kundi Govinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Premanande, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Jagannath, Krishna, Vesnaya Bhutane, Sri Mate Bhaktivedanta, Swami, Namaste Saraswati, Gauravani Charini, Nirvisesha Sunyavan, Paschata Desha Tarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So much. Class of the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8, verse 33.
Apare
Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Yagat Ajas Swam Asya Shemaya Vadhaya Cha Sura Dvisham Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Yagat Ajastvam Asya Shemaya Vadayacha Suradvisha Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Vyagyat Ajastvam Asya Shemaya Vadayacha Suradvisha Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Vyagat Ajastvam Ashyat Shemaya Vadhaya Chasuradvisham
Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Bhyagat Ajastvam Asya Kshemaya Vadhaya Chasuradvisham
Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Bhyagat Ajastvam Asya Kshemaya
Vadhaya Chasuradvisham
Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Bhyagat Ajastvam Asya Semaya Vadhaya Chasuradvisham
Apari Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Bhyagat Ajastvam Asya Kshemaya Vadhaya Chasuradvisham
Anyone else? Apare. Others. Vasudevasya. Vasudev. Devakyam. Of Devaki. Yachitaha. Being prayed for. Avyagat. Took birth. Ajaha. Unborn. From you are. Asya. Of him. Shemaya. For the good. Vadhaya. For the purpose of killing. Cha. And. Suradvisham. Of those who are envious. Of the demigods. Translation. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. So I say, and you can repeat. Others say that since you are, that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you. You have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn. Yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Purport. By His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila. It is also said that Vasudeva and Devaki, in their previous birth as Sutapa and Prishni, underwent a severe type of penance to get the Lord as their son. And as a result of such austerities, the Lord appeared as their son. It is already declared in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears for the welfare of all people of the world and to vanquish the asuras, or the materialistic atheists. Om Agyan Timarindasya Girandanam Shalakaya Chakshur Kundalitam Jaina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manonishtam Stavitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Vipakadam Dadanti Swapadantakam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasanubhedcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Pacharine Niri Shesha Shanivani Once again the verse. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. So, Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for and performed great austerities, very particular kind of austerities. They prayed. They wanted Krishna to be their son. This was this intense desire that they had. And they're very, very special souls. Their prayer was answered by Krishna. So, Krishna is taking his appearance. You could say his birth. Not a birth. He was unborn. But yet we understand that he appeared. He made this appearance. See? He appeared in this material world. He took his birth, his transcendental birth, as the son of Devaki. And excuse me, and Vasudeva. See, so Krishna is like killing several birds with one stone here. You see, he's got to come to earth to hammer the atheists and those who are harassing the demigods. You know, the demigods they've approached Lord Vishnu and they begged, please, you've got to do something to help us. So the demigods were aware that we don't want Kali Yuga to get off to this negative spin. You see, if Kali Yuga starts off as it is right now, boy, it's really going to be downhill from here on out. So they can see, they can make the calculation because they're sober. You see, they could see if things start out like this, then by 2013 and 2014, they're really going to be messed up, you see, even before that. So we need Kali Yuga to get off to a real positive spin. We need something good to happen. And Kali Yuga is going to be bad enough. No matter what, it's going to be bad. So we need your help, my dear Lord. Please come and help us. Please give us your mercy and vanquish us. The atheistic, demoniac forces are in charge. You see, we need you to annihilate these people. We need you to take them out of office. They didn't have voting. Didn't have like every 4 years they have an election. These guys are in there. They've got they're corrupt. And they've got control, you see. So everyone was suffering in so many different ways. All those who are saintly are feeling the pressure. And it's like that in the material world. Like right now, there's so many people who are trying to enjoy this material world, and they actually think they are some. They think they are. Because I get something, I work hard all day and I hate it. I don't like my job. But then my friend just told me there's a new place that's opened up. They have a 2-for-1 happy hour. So now that makes me happy. It makes me sad to go to work. And I don't like dealing with my boss. But then the good news is I get to go to a 2-for-1 happy hour with my friend. And the bad news is I got a little too intoxicated. The good news is I made it almost all the way home without hitting anybody. And the bad news is I got caught by a policeman and got a DWI ticket. The good news is I've got enough money to hire a good attorney. Bad news is that's going to cause my insurance to go up. And so their lives are like that. Mother Sandamani and I were talking last night that, we live in a bubble. We're in a world here. we're in a bubble. You know, you get to go out into, you're out there all day, every day, but still you're in a bubble. You know, you're not so exposed to this, what's happening out there. But people are like that. It's like, how their day is going depends on what time of the day you might happen to ask them. You know, and one moment they'd say, "Oh, it's going great." 10 minutes later, they, "Oh, it's terrible." You see, we hear people so many times that pour their hearts out. People come and they really have to talk to somebody. You see, I spend a lot of my time hearing people whose lives are just upside down. You see, and they have no intention of being that way. This wasn't their plan. You know, when they got out of school, they didn't plan, all right, I'm going to go get a really good education. I'm going to study real hard, get a nice graduate degree, and then somehow or other I'll get myself into just a terrible, horrible life and end up very depressed. That's not their aim, you see. Their aim is that I'm going to work hard and get through school, get really good grades, get a really good job, meet a really good mate, the perfect soulmate. You see, going to get a great car, fabulous apartment or house, you know. We're going to get married, have 2.3 children, you know. So that's the plan. We're going to do well. Nobody plans for it to fall apart, you see. So here we are living in this bubble. Our day starts out with Mangal Arti, you know, and then we get to see Manohar, you know, pounding on that drum for Guru Puja, you see. We take it all for granted. We find fault, you know, somebody will say, "How's your day?" "Well, it's not so good today," you know. The biggest problem we have is that we might have to do some service. And maybe sometimes somebody may be ill or for whatever reason they can't show up. We have to fill in with their service too. You know, oh, we really have it tough, don't we? You see. Sometimes we might have to give a class in the morning and give a class in the evening. It's just so tough, isn't it? You see how Krishna picks on us, you know. So we're like spoiled babies. We have these. We're complaining over nothing. It's like the children of the king complaining. You know. I say, my nails need to be done, and there's just no one here to do it. You see? So, you know, whatever. And so we're spoiled. We're like big spoiled babies. I've said it before. We're like children, spoiled children of a rich man. We've got a wonderful, great life. And if we ever listen to ourselves, our own complaints and our own whinings, and then compare that, if you hear the lives of these people who are living outside this bubble, it's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. It really, really is. To listen to these folks, and I wonder, how do you get yourself in such a dilemma? Oh, I know. Material energy. You're caught up in the material energy. The modes are kicking you around the field, like you ever watch a soccer game? You know how they kick the ball around? The ball's over here, the ball's over there, and it's over here. So here we are, the modes are kicking us around like that if we're outside of our bubble, you see. The modes come in here a little bit. We get into the modes a tiny bit once in a while. And it upsets us. We don't like it. We get a little taste. So, like the rich child only has an old-fashioned gold Rolex. It doesn't have the newest gold Rolex. You see, we're kind of like that. We're so spoiled that we make high demands on Krishna. We want this and we want that. Oh boy, I'm having such a rough day. And compared to those who are truly suffering, there's no comparison. Just no comparison. You see. So we have to avoid the things that the people on the outside of our bubble do. And they create their own problems. They do. They create them. Now, from what I've witnessed, once they get into a problem situation, what often happens is they get sympathy from a friend, a relative. Someone comes and holds their hand and says, "Oh, that poor you, that is so terrible. Oh, and then what? Well, and then this happened. And, oh my God, that's you poor dear." You know. So they think, "Oh, wow, that sympathy really tasted good. That was pretty nice. So but now that problem is past, so I need to dramatize a little bit more because I kind of like that sympathy thing, you know, that was kind of nice. So I want to see if I can develop that again." So it seems like they kind of sabotage their lives. You know, you ever see people like that? They're living in drama. They always have a drama. There's always something wrong, and it's never that bad. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's just, you know, but that's, they have a tendency to live in that drama. And it's always somebody else's fault. Somebody's picking on me. My boss is really giving me a hard time, you see. And, you know, you can say, "Well, why don't you look for another job?" "Oh, well, that's just not a good idea." You can come up with solutions, and then you realize right away you're not looking for a solution. You don't want me to fix your problem. You just want me to listen and share it with you. You say, "Well, pity." You find yourself sometimes at a party that you weren't invited to. What's the party that you're never invited to, but you just find yourself at? It's a pity party. Isn't it? You walk up to someone and you may say, you know, from non-devotee, you ever notice this? Non-devotee, you say, "Hi, how are you?" "Not so good." You know, I was really expecting to say, "I'm fine, how are you?" You know, a lot of times we say, you know, we're assuming they're okay. You see, it's not that we're not interested in how they are. We feel like they're okay, but we're just making conversation. You know, and it is nice conversation between friends. You know, "How is your day going? Hope you're having a good day." Like that, you see. So we're not ready for the, not really good. You know, and what's wrong? And then you know you're going to get a long story when you get this. The long sigh first. You know. So you think, okay, I might as well look around for a place to sit because this is going to take a while. You know. So in other words, I've just invited you to my pity party. You know, you're in the party with me. It's just you and I. We're going to have this party. So some people, sometimes people are in such a situation that they really do need some advice and they need some help. But a lot of people, we find, they want to go there. See, they really want that sympathy. They want the attention. I'm the center of attention. If I can get 3 or 4 friends at the same time around me, and they're all going, "Oh, poor you." Well, I'm the center of attention. That's kind of like being Krishna in a way, you know. I mean, everybody's going to walk away thinking about me, you know. You see. So the devotee has to be very careful not to let the contamination of the modes seep in here and affect us. You see, we can stay mode free. We can do that. We can avoid the modes. But sometimes there may be some little contamination. People come in here and bring the modes with them. You see, it's like a disease. You know, we're an uncontaminated area. People come in from the contaminated world into our bubble, and they'll bring some contamination. You see, so we have to always be on guard and see when the modes start. When we start heading into a mode, you see, we have to grab ourselves, turn ourselves around, and get out of it. So we have to be watching. We have to be aware of how we're dealing with people. We have to be aware of how people are dealing with us. They're trying to get me into the motives. You know, we have to be thinking like that. It's like we're the shepherd of one another. We're the shelter of one another. We should be able to help someone when we see them sliding into the motives. We should be able to say, "Oh, excuse me, Prabhu, you know, you're getting a little loaded out here." Or some nice way to say it. And we should all be ready to be told that when we're heading into the motives. We shouldn't say, "Well, how dare you say that? Don't tell me I'm in a mode of passion." You know. We should be ready to discuss it. People are only trying to help you. See? And help the community. We want the modes to stay outside. There's no room for modes here. We should have a sign out there that has, you know, the word modes with one of those red circles and a red line through it. Modes. Keep your modes. So, anyway, Krishna had taken his birth to satisfy his devotees, his pure devotees, who had done such penance and austerity to get him to come. So he does that. The demons, you see. He wants to uplift the devotees, annihilate the demons, and therefore get Kali Yuga off to a positive start. So isn't it amazing how Krishna is serving us? Look what he's doing for Mother Devaki and Vasudeva. Excuse me. Look what he's doing. Look how sweet he's being. They have this incredible, intense desire to have him as their son. He's coming to fulfill their desire. You know. And he's not only that, but he's coming to fulfill the desire of the demigods. They came to say, "Please help us. We're in trouble. We need your help." So Krishna's coming to serve. He's serving us. He's so kind, you see. Now, he could have handled the demigod, the request of the demigods. He could have handled that without coming himself. He didn't have to do it. He could have sent somebody else. You see? Krishna's got people he can empower to send here to annihilate the demons. You see? He could have done that. He didn't have to do it himself. But this shows, here's someone who has everything. Krishna has everything. He can stay at home and go over Vrindavan, surrounded by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis. You see? I mean, he's talk about somebody who can really have a good life. Krishna can. But out of love, he came personally. It's like, and it's not like, "Oh man, I gotta go do this. You know, I gotta go be somebody's child and kill demons." Jeez. No, Krishna was like, "Okay, you know, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it in such a way that I will enthuse everyone." You see, people will remember my pastimes, time and for the rest of time. You see, I'm going to go do it. I'm not just going to go down there and in a couple of days kill all the demons and leave. And then people will be talking, "Hey, what happened to the demons?" "I don't know. I think God came to kill them." "Oh, really? How did he do it?" "I don't know." Nobody saw it. You know, they're all dead. See, I mean, he could have just sent a thunderbolt. I mean, he could have done it. Yeah. And they're all fried. But he wanted to come and associate, take birth as a child, satisfy the desires of his pure devotees, and then perform these wonderful pastimes as baby Krishna to delight our heart, you see. So, and then throughout his life, he's doing these wonderful things and gives us a history, a memory to stay with us, you see. we can see that not only did he do the service, but he did the service to its utmost. You see? He didn't just come to be a son, he was this divine, wonderful son. He didn't just come and annihilate the demons. He really, really did it in such a way that we will always remember it, you see, and delight in hearing it. So, Krishna sets an example for us. Not that we can equal him, but he sets an example. And Krishna's doing such this wonderful service. When we're doing some service, all service is wonderful. Should we just do it to get it done? Krishna set an example. Let's do it and then add a little bit of polish to it. You see? I mean, we may have to do some menial service around here. Let's do it. But then add a little something to it. You know? It's just like, you know, Manahar's Kirtan just a few minutes ago. He didn't just get out here, you know, Hare Krishna. You know, he put some of himself into that. That was tremendous. We were all ecstatic. We were very happy, you see. When you do something, I remember my mother used to say, if a thing isn't worth doing right, it's not worth doing at all. When it's worth doing, do it really well. You see, polish it up. Do it as an offering to Guru and Krishna. You see, and therefore, Srila Prabhupada talked of this as he described it as the art of doing the thing perfectly. Doing the thing perfectly. If you're going to do it perfectly. People may call you obsessive compulsive. We don't care what they say. Do your service as nicely as you can. You see, whatever offering you make to Krishna, make it first class. Whatever offering you make to Guru and Krishna, first class. See? That'll please Guru and Krishna, and you'll live a better life. You'll be doing better service. You'll be more self-satisfied. You see? You'll have fewer pity parties. You won't need it, you won't need the pity party hats anymore. See? We'll have fewer complaints. If we all do that, then we're not going to get on each other's nerves like we sometimes do. You see? We're not going to step on toes. You see? It's just a way of putting polish on it. It's just like you have your car and it's clean, but if you put some wax on it, polish it up, it looks 10 times better, and it protects it from the sun and so many other things. You know. It takes a little bit more effort, but it's well worth it. See, you get the benefit of it. So, doing our service, whatever we have to do, whatever our service is, let's not just go do it. Let's go do it first class. Polish it. See, do it as well as we can. Krishna setting the example. Like I say, he didn't just wander through and get it done and leave, or send somebody else to do it. You see? Sometimes we are of the mentality, if we could, we'd send somebody else to do our service, if we could. So, we should think like that. So, are there any questions or discussions at this point? Comments?
Yes, Prabhu. I have one kind of sharing, like when Kunti was saying, humiliating that you came as my nephew to act on this manly work, and but we see humiliating means like Sura to Drishan. No, so actually for the benefit of the demigods, Lord comes and he killed the Asuras. And we see this same Asura, that Bali Maharaj, actually he will become the next king of the demigods again. He was fighting with the demigods, and then all the Asuras, they were fighting against the Asuras, all the demigods. And then again, when Bali Maharaj will become the demigod, and because this fighting will be always going on. So that's why Krishna says, I come in again and again. annihilate the demons, save the devotees. So how bewildering it is, like that same demon become again demigods, king of the demigods. Again he will fight with the demons again. So this is this is Krishna's pastime. This is very much bewildering, all these things.
You're done.
Yeah, so Krishna comes, but the bewilderment is there, like how when the soul changes the body, when the asura becomes the demigods, and then same asura, when he becomes the demigod, he fights again with the asuras. Did you get my point, Prabhu?
No, what's your question?
My question was when Bali Maharaj will become the Indra, and then he will fight with the asuras.
Right.
And now Bali Maharaj fought with the Indra and other demigods. And that is bewildering.
Changing roles.
Right, changing roles. Right.
Today demigod, tomorrow demon.
Yeah. Yeah. This is always going on.
Yes.
And it's all part of Krishna's plan. It's all part of his pastimes, really. And it's like somehow or other it's part of his plan for them to do it. They're performing this service.
He wants that. He wants to fight.
It's like Jai and Vijay. They're acting one role, and then they come and act another role, and then several other roles. It's now if you're a soul, a living entity, and Krishna makes some arrangement for you to be some demon that he's going to come and kill, does that make you a bad guy? Huh? I mean, you behaved in a body of a bad guy, you get liberated. You're a special soul. Hiranyakasipu was a very special soul. But, he was the gatekeeper. So, but he was performing devotional service, isn't it? Krishna wanted to protect his devotee and to show us, and for all time, to show everyone for all time, that I protect my devotee. I stand by my devotee, and I want to demonstrate it. Well, he doesn't want to demonstrate it some little way. He does it in this huge way. Like I say, Krishna doesn't, when he does his prescribed duties that he prescribes for himself, we can't prescribe. He does it first class, big time. So, in other words, instead of just having a typical normal child abuse situation, no, he had mega. This is Maha child abuse. First of all, the father that's going to abuse the devotee has to be this incredible demon. Not just a run-of-the-mill demon. The demon off the street, Hiranyakasipu was big time. Big time. Prahlad Maharaj was his big time devotee. Big time pure devotee. What a story, see? So, Hiranyakasipu was helping in this drama that Krishna's putting on, so that we can see, look, and what does it do? It gives us faith. Just see how God comes to save his devotee, you see. Otherwise, it would just be hearsay. Well, God will save you. Krishna will always protect you. Oh, really? Like how? Well, it's okay, just have faith, he will. Well, has he ever done it before? Well, look, just have faith, okay? I remember when I went to church, I got a lot of that. That's all, just have faith. You see. So, God, Krishna will always stand by you. He will always take care of his devotee. Oh yeah, how's that? Well, here's the story. See? You can see. And it delights. It delights us. We celebrate it. You see? So this is part of the drama Krishna has created.
Yeah, wrong.
You know, to attract our attention
Yeah, right.
to him. You know. And you can see he does it in such a grandiose scale. For our benefit. Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna sometimes empower some of his devotees as a very powerful man, so that even demigod cannot defeat them, in order to enjoy his fighting spirit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes. He wants to fight.
He wants to fight.
Krishna wants to enjoy.
There's no fighting in Goloka Vrindavan. There aren't any demons, you see. So he's thinking, and Krishna's, he's the original multitasker. He's multitasking. I'm enjoying this, and I'm entertaining you transcendentally. You get to see your worshipful God smash demon after demon after demon, which gives you faith. It gives you pastimes to help you remember me. I mean, and so on and so on. You get purified just by remembering my pastimes. See? And I'm doing all this the same. It's just like he's taking care of Vasudeva and Devaki's desire. At the same time as he's come to perform his pastimes and give us something to draw us closer to him. And at the same time, he's annihilating the demons, and so on and so on. See, he doesn't just make a fell swoop. Bam. It's like, Prabhu, can you do this service? Oh, okay. Zip, zip, zip. Down. Okay. Enough of that. No. Polish it. Make it shine. Whenever we finish our service, there should be a shine. Prabhupada spoke like that. Yes.
When the Kashipu was a very powerful demon, but it was that his little son was more powerful than him because of his ignorance, arrogance. His little son, Parnaj was more powerful than him because he was on Krishna's side.
Right.
So it was actually, it was very inconsiderate. But when you see really the power of his son, when all the faith, all the love of the bhakti gives to Krishna just appear and destroy him. So that's why we can see all these materialists, they got so much material power, but actually they're nothing to compare to the devotees. The devotees got more power.
And you can see, Hiranyakasipu was under the modes. He was affected by the modes. So when we're moded out, we can't have access to our intelligence. See? So Hiranyakasipu didn't have the intelligence to know that his son was more powerful. I'm Hiranyakasipu, he's all up inside himself. Do you know who your father is? Well, I'm Hiranyakasipu. You see, so he was thinking, I'm the greatest, I'm the most fantastic. His intelligence was diluted, it was covered. So he couldn't figure it out. My son is so powerful, he's such a pure devotee. He couldn't do the math and come up with that. So he was amazed. He's trying to kill his son. He was amazed. He's like, what is this? Can you imagine? Especially if you're an ultra potent person like him. Ultra potent. I mean, he had done such tremendous austerities. And he had actually caused the planetary system to overheat. And he couldn't affect Prahlad. He couldn't hurt him. I mean, this has got to be a shock to the system. You see? But to speak of when Lord Nrsimhadev came out of that column, you see. So, Krishna does things grandiose. It's a big production. He doesn't make B-rated movies.
A plus B.
His are blockbusters, you know.
Yeah.
You see. So, no, we should pick up that spirit in whatever we do. You know, if we're going to lead kirtan, if we're going to lead class, if we're going to hose down the drive, you know, whatever we're going to do, cook, dress the deities, go shopping for the deity, whatever we do, let's polish it. We will enjoy it more. It's not that we just do it. We will be happier, you see, because Guru and Krishna are happier. And that's what we thrive on. We thrive on pleasing Guru and Krishna. Again and again we say, we have to say it again and again so it will catch on. We are not the enjoyer. We are the enjoyed. You see. So if I have some service to do and I just go do it real quick and get it done so I can go back to enjoy it. Something, you know, get back to my spare time so I can enjoy it. That's not transcendental. When I do it in such a way that Guru and Krishna enjoy it, now I'm enjoying like everything. But to speak of the devotees, they enjoy it. And that causes you enjoyment as well. See? Not that anybody's not doing their service nicely or whatever, but we can always improve, make it better. Always strive to make it better. You see? Any more questions or comments? You had a question, didn't you?
Well, yeah, it's, so is it safe to say that, well, I kind of answered it myself, but Krishna, if he wants you to play the role of the demon, how is it, I mean, what kind of, it's not coming from, there are no demoniac souls, so to speak. All the souls are pure part and parcel.
Yeah.
So,
We're all somewhat divine.
so we just,
To
you
some
can
degree.
take somebody like Jivananda that did so many, you know, good penances, and it's like, how was it? Oh my gosh, you don't say that, because he's Krishna. But he was so forgetful. Krishna will put somebody in complete illusion.
Yeah.
He'll put them in
And
complete
he allowed
illusion to
this-
play a role.
He allowed this whole thing to happen. I mean, he could have stopped it. You know, he could have stopped the curse to take birth or to take birth in the material world. He
Do
could
you
have
think
stopped
that
it.
that's still going on now, that people are put into certain families and stuff, and make it difficult so that they can play out certain functions
Yeah, we're-
along their life?
When it gets right down to it, we're all playing a role.
Yeah.
You know, we're acting out some drama that we've got ourselves into. We want to enjoy in certain ways. So we have this desire to enjoy, and it doesn't include Krishna. So we find ourselves in this material world because of our desires. We perform certain activities. Those activities incur certain reactions. So we find ourselves in situations. We're in one situation wanting something better, so we're performing other activities to try to get better reaction. So we're going around and around in this material world in a story that we're the author of, pretty much.
Well, I've thought about that with serial killers, like, that they're almost being a karma machine.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, are they completely taken over to mete out karma to people that seem so innocent? That, I mean, how
Yeah.
somebody could get so heinous.
It's kind of hard to understand. I don't understand that the mind of someone like a serial killer. or a Joseph Stalin or Adolf Hitler because of the desire for fame, profit, adoration, distinction, or something that they want that they're not getting. And so they're acting out in such a way, or a brain that's just broken.
But Krishna could have just popped Hitler before he did all that.
Oh, yeah.
He could have just popped him, but he let him do all that. So
Yeah.
was he some kind of, Hironikashipu that,
He was the deliverer of karma.
yeah,
We have karma coming.
that was
Hitler was
widespread though. That
yeah.
was just widespread.
Yeah, but there's widespread. We were talking about this last night. Widespread karma. So think about it. It's hard for people to say something or to understand sometimes. But we had such intense karma come down on one race of people.
Right.
You see? How is that? They're not all bad. We're all good people. You see? So we believe that. We believe we're all good. However, we're slaughtering millions of animals a day. We're eating and we're using their skin for our clothes just because it's cute. When we wear fur coats because it's fashionable, you see. And then we use animals for laboratory testing, things like that. It's just like we eat animals, it causes disease, and then we go analyze them in laboratories and make them suffer to try to cure the diseases that we get from eating the animals in the first place. You see, now that's pretty demonic. You see? So we're incurring on this. We've got a whole race of people, or several races in this country that are incurring pretty mega karma. So you see, and they all think that they're okay. Hitler wasn't trying to be a bad guy. He thought he was okay. He did. Okay, all glories to Srimad.